Okay, so I already did some 64 tick smokes for Ancient, so just going through with redoing some of the same smokes for 128 tick. A lot of them are going to be pretty similar lineups or exactly the same, even though they're jump throws. But yeah, so just get started. So the back lane B, right in there, that cubby, going to be saying cubby a lot. So you line up right here, and then this I shape. So the 64 tick is like you aim right there, but this one's going to be aiming right at that dot, and then jump through. And then, yeah, so that gets that whole corner. So on 64 tick, when you line up with this scar, and then look right there, that's the cave smoke, but on this, it's a deeper left lane. So that gets left lane. I mean, yeah, someone can be here, but you just gotta watch out for it. And then instead for cave, so if you come into this corner and then aim right, so the third one right there where it meets, just jump through. So that's the cave smoke for 128 tick. Yeah. Okay, so the mid smokes are fairly similar and just about as useless as they were. So if you go to the top back right section of the stairs at mid, the 64 tick had you aiming at the top left of this second stone up. The 128 is just one stone lower. Jump through. And then that gets you lane. Still not sure how useful that is. It was really the only smoke I could find that could like go through these holes in the skybox, because you can't throw over that as far as I know. So yeah, so this one's actually the exact same as the 64 tick. You get on the corner of this stone, aim just above that back gargoyle, jump through, and I think it actually ends up at a better on 128 tick than it did on 64. But yeah, still not sure what use case you have for smoking T-ramp from mid. And then this one is, I think, the most useful. If you want to cut off a B rotation going to A and you have mid. So the 64 tick was aiming at like the top right corner. This one you're going to aim not at the bottom right, but at that little nick, at the top right of that bottom right nick, and then jump through. And that'll cut off all the B rotation. It's not as great as the 164, but as long as you're not like, you know, standing right here, you're fine, and it cuts off that rotation. Okay, and then so for A smokes, so the CT smoke is exactly the same. You get into this corner, that crack, go down one line more, and then just jump through, and that'll be a deep CT smoke. You'll still have to watch out for that corner, but it's an easy one that I found. For temple or house, right where the A is, so that entrance onto the plant site itself. So if you go to the other side of the plant so you can't walk anymore, the 64 tick is at the top right of these. The 128 tick, if you just go up to that, line up where these trees, those branches start splitting, just go up and then jump through. So those will catch on the steps. Sometimes if you're not exact, it'll fall down, but I mean, it'll really just be like right there. It's the same thing. It blocks off that entrance. for donut, so you want to get caught. So there's a little bump. I don't know if you can see it very well. So get caught right there till you can't move anymore. Really just hold. If you come here and just kind of hold forward, you'll get caught and stop moving. Yep. So that's where you want to be. And then 64 tick, you would aim at the top right of that. On 128, you're just gonna, yeah, you're gonna aim between these two at the top. So 64 tick was up there, 128 tick's gonna be right there. And then just get at the top of it, and then step jump through. And then that gets donut. So then if you got, so you have those three blocked off. If you also wanted to get this, it's not great, it doesn't get inside it or anything, but it will cover it. If you just go to, basically there's all these plants, the one with the two rocks, just line up with the crack behind the plant, and then just not the top rightmost, not the next one down. Basically the top right to the right of the tree. And I jump through. That one will just land right outside. So if you have that combined with one that's on those steps, I mean, nobody from in there is coming out. I mean, they could push it, but yeah. So then some other even more useless ones, I think. I noticed that this had a hole, so I didn't find anything really that you could throw out of it, but for some reason, I guess if you've taken A and you don't want anyone to go into temple, you can come here, and then basically this leaf, it continues on, but it really kind of ends right around here. If you look at where that meets this ledge right here, so you walk into this corner and look up there, jump throw. Then it will fall down into here. Do with that what you will. I guess you can prevent a CT from rotating through temple. You could have like someone watching here, and you don't need to actually fully take temple. I don't know, but it's there. Okay, so two more mid smokes for A. So this one is for CT. This one can go two different ways depending on how you throw it. Basically you want to aim between these two and match it with that. The more higher or to the left you are, it's going to go straighter, and the more to the right or lower you are, it's going to go deeper. I'll show you what that means in a second. So if you line it up here with that, so because I'm a little left, it's probably going to go straight. Yeah, so it lands pretty shallow right there. Now obviously someone could still be right here camping. It doesn't block that off, but they won't have a one-way. So now if I do that same thing but go a little further to the right, then I believe I was too low. Yeah, it's too low because it didn't bounce off the skybox. So then it'll land a little deeper. But basically, just rule of thumb is try and line them up best you can, and it'll, as long as you're hitting the skybox, it's gonna land in CT. It may land deeper or more shallow, but it's not that big of a difference. The other one, so if you come here, I shot it already in the session, but yeah, you come under this like elephant gargoyle thing on the right side of his mouth, line up with this part that's sticking out, and then up there where the mountains meet in the trees, so you're just gonna jump throw. And then that's gonna drop down into back of this back hall for temple or house or whatever. So if you get both of those, so let's rethrow that, and
I'm throwing smoke.
so then both of those entrances are blocked off. If you're doing a split, then you could probably push out pretty safe and just have someone hold back hall, because they can still push up, but it will get that entrance. So yeah, just 2 more smokes. So as for inside of these back halls and throwing stuff out of here, really the only thing I could find that was like maybe even somewhat useful was if you line up with this stone block on the left side and then just click up there. It'll land in the middle of sight. So if you have like someone from CT coming, they could, I mean, they have to worry about donut still, but they don't have to worry about sight. They could at least get out behind box, or nobody would know if they had gotten out. And then for you inside hall, you would just have to worry about that angle, I guess. You don't have to worry about donut if you're peeking out. But then again, like if you're doing a retake and you're coming in here and looking at this, doing that, I mean, it's just, that's the only thing I could find, because the second you're looking at doing a jump throw, you're hitting the skybox because of how vertical you have to be. That being said, you can do just some flashes out of here. That's not really even lined up, that's just like kind of judge it, and it'll pretty much pop flash. Like if you got someone behind box watching CT, it'll full blind them. If they think like tunnels are safe, they got someone back here watching the CT push, it'll get them. I mean, it won't get anyone back behind here, and it won't get anyone that's inside of donut, but if anyone's even just remotely pushed out onto site, it'll get them. So yeah, that's about all I could find, but yeah.